Hello everyone, welcome back to Patshala and welcome back to the part 3 of human circulation system. Until now we have been talking about blood. Now you know what guys, apart from blood also there is a very special fluid in your body. That is the lymph. Yes, we don't see it when we bleed, but it exists there. So I will begin you telling the story of lymph. But before that, I would recommend you please go and watch part 1 and 2 so that you know what are we sailing in. And also guys, I would like to introduce myself before I tell you the story of lymph. So my name is Aditi Goyal. I'm a final year MBBS student at RUHS CMS Jaipur. Apart from my medicine profile, I hold a proficient experience of mentoring students regarding biology preparation and NEET UG from past 5 years. Alright, so yes, now let's talk about this interesting fluid, lymph. I know you all can't hold your curiosity. So guys, this lymph is the interstitial fluid, or maybe let me phrase it better, the tissue fluid. So how does this lymph form? Basically, the water and soluble particles move out of my capillaries into the tissue spaces. Mhm. Now, the function of this lymph is nutrient exchange. Basically, all these substances are moving into this lymph and immune response because this lymph carries the lymphocytes and it drains this interstitial fluid back to my major veins like vena cava and other veins and causes their drainage. Now, okay, so now I understand, ma'am, what is lymph and what is blood. Now, guys, I also want you to know the beautiful story of your heart. It wasn't like this always before. Uh-huh. So, firstly, it started just by two chambers, and fishes still have two chambered heart. They have one atrium and one ventricle, and there is a whole single circulation happening. One side oxygenated blood, one side deoxygenated blood. Then we progress to amphibians. Amphibians have three chambered heart, two atria and one ventricle. So they are trying to go towards double circulation, which we are going to talk about further, but it's incomplete double circulation of blood. And we, mammals and birds, we have a four chambered heart with two atria, two ventricles, and we exhibit a double circulation. All right. So now let's look at anatomy of the human heart. So our heart, as we talked about, has four chambers: the left atrium, right atrium, left ventricle, right ventricle. The valves that connect your left atrium and left ventricle, allowing the blood flow, is called the bicuspid or the mitral valve. Mhm. And there on the right hand, you have now the bicuspid means two cuspids. On the right side, we have right atrium and right ventricle and connects them the tricuspid valve. That is the three valves, three cuspids. Okay. Now the left ventricle sends blood to my organs via the major artery of my body, aorta. So there is a valve between left ventricle and aorta as well, and that is called a semilunar valve or the aortic valve. Also, my right atrium also receives blood from my entire body, and that comes through a vein, inferior vena cava. Yes. Also, right ventricle, after receiving all the deoxygenated blood from my right atrium, sends it back to my lungs for oxygenation, right? And that goes through pulmonary artery. Oh my god, what are you saying, ma'am? It's an artery and it carries an oxygenated blood, deoxygenated blood? Well, yes, you're hearing this right. Pulmonary vasculature is exception to many rules, and one of them is the rule of veins and arteries. So in lung system, pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood from your ventricles to your lungs. Now the blood gets deoxygenated, the carbon dioxide is expelled and oxygen is inhaled, and the blood gets oxygenated in your lungs, and it travels back to your left atrium via the pulmonary vein. Yes, and then again moves from left atrium to left ventricle to the bicuspid mitral valve, then from left ventricle to aorta through the semilunar valves of aorta and goes to your body. And that's how it goes. Now I understand. And that is why it is called double circulation, because it is moving through your organs and also moving through your lungs. So there are two circulation circuits that take place at the same time. That is why it is called double circulation. Why do our body has a double circulation? In order to maintain the temperature. your body has a very, very huge demand of homeostasis. Humans have a basal temperature of 37 degrees Celsius, and that is only maintained by the double circulation. So, that is why double circulation is extremely important. Also, what causes this motor to work? Your heart is basically like a motor. So, what generates the signal? Well, that is the conduction system in your body. So, in the left atrium, you have a pacemaker. Basically, a pacemaker is one that starts functioning. Pacemaker because nobody needs to start it to start. It starts itself, it starts generating the impulse itself. That is why it is called the pacemaker. It is the SAN, or may I call it sinoatrial node. So it is in the upper border of your left atrium. Yes, it is the pacemaker of your heart. It usually generates around 100 impulses on its own, but your body keeps it under control, so it normally generates around 60 to 70 impulses per minute, and that is our normal heart rate. Then on the right bottom corner of left atrium, we have the AVN, atrioventricular node. So the impulses travel from SAN to atrioventricular node. Then you see in the ventricles we have a bundle of fibers. That those are called bundles of His. And these bundles of His radiate into small small fibers throughout your ventricular musculature, and these are called Purkinje fibers. So sinoatrial node generates around 70 to 75 potentials per minute around the same your heart rate. All right, ma'am, now I understand, and this is such an interesting system. So, yes, guys, if you want to keep learning biology so interestingly, and I may say all the subjects, if you are looking for a complete study solution, you need to check out Patshala. They offer one on one live classes, instant doubt solving, and premium study materials. They cover all the grades and all boards. It's basically like having a personal tutor in your pocket. To get started, just download the app link in the description box, search for the subject you want to learn, and they will connect you with the best teachers in country. Seriously, go check it out. The link is right in the comment section below, in the description box below. Also, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that you can get updates for such interesting videos. Keep studying, and all the best.